And we should now be live. Hello everybody. I'm just going to make sure everything's working. Would appear to be. Jurassic World Evolution 2 did crash on me a minute ago when I tried to switch over things. So this is an advance warning that if we do get a crash, there may be a few changes. Hello Nicholas, hello Walking with Birds, hello Rob, hello Kairu, hello Navi. We will have our War Thunder chat in a sec. How are you all doing today? I'm going to get started on one of the jobs for today. So the two jobs for today is I want to finish doing the decorative work for our enclosure we built last week and start on the enclosure or start on this hotel area and such as well. So I'm just going to make a start on this area here, putting in some vegetation patches and stuff. Thank you, Rob. You have a week of internship Walking with Birds. What are you interning as? Is it something you want to do as a career, or is it like what we have over here in England where we have work experience weeks? Gardening. Gardening's not too bad of a thing to be interning with. I wouldn't mind having done that for my work experience. My work experience was tremendously dull. You watched all of the Walking with series, including Chased by Dinosaurs and Sea Monsters. You're watching Prehistoric Park. Well, funny you should mention that, actually, because I have something I want to talk about a little bit later on. Related to Prehistoric Park. Oh, you have to go in 5 minutes, Navi. Okay, well, here's my quick, suggestions for playing aircraft in War Thunder. Stick to arcade battles. Make sure you have at least all of the Silver Lion vehicle garage slots open, because in aircraft battles you can take in as many aircraft as you like. So, fill yourself up with as many aircraft as you can. Don't really bother with bombers because they're not... they're almost worthless to play. Just stick to fighters and interceptors. Biplanes can be surprisingly useful. Don't give up your biplanes too fast. Biplanes are really effective. But the most important thing about air battles in War Thunder is to make sure you're using the right ammunition belts. So, making sure you're using the anti-aircraft belts or universal belts. Pay attention to what ammunition you're actually firing. My suggestion, if you want a starting nation for aircraft, start with Germany. I think they're the best starting nation for aircraft and for tanks, as it happens. So yeah, that's my quick run through. I do have some War Thunder videos on the channel, so you know. I have some aircraft videos up. Okay, I think we could do with a few other trees around here. Let's just make this lots of trees. You can never have enough plants. Exactly. Let's do... kind of want a few rocks down here as well. But I'm going to just bury them a little bit into the dirt. I want them to be a little bit lower. And we'll put some, like, water trees around here. Yep. Conifer trees are the best in the world, fight me. I like a good conifer. A good conifer tree can be nice. Righto, Navi. That's a good point, Nicholas. I should probably remember its premiere in 25th anniversary in October this year, so I should probably do something for that. I think I want one more patch of trees over here somewhere. Maybe here. Fits all that. So, yes. So I have a plan. As some of you may remember or may not remember, some time ago when I was reviewing the Dinosaur with Stephen Fry documentary, I said that having watched it, it's made me so angry that I wanted to do a retrospective review on all the Walking With shows. Now, unfortunately, after that point, things happened. There was some in real life stress. There was also, you know, a lot of news of Jurassic World Evolution 2 and a load of other stuff. So that plan got sort of pushed back. Well, what I wanted to... Now things have sort of calmed down a little bit. is I do actually want to get on doing the retrospective walking with dinosaurs and stuff reviews. Now, the thing is, the walking with dinosaurs one is going to take a long time because I want to really go over as much information as I can find, especially including like its production and stuff. It's going to take a long time to do those videos. So I've been thinking, where can I start to like have something, you know, not too massive to begin with. And what I'm decided to do is I'm going to start with Prehistoric Park. Because Prehistoric Park, I could probably do about it would probably be like an hour long, any video essay on that. It's not going to be hugely long. Unless, you know, I can wing maybe getting a Twitter message or something from Nigel Marvin about Prehistoric Park. We'll see. Because he did respond to something I posted some time ago. And he seems to be pretty decent at like answering people on Twitter, so I might just ask like if he has any fond memories or stuff about Prehistoric Park. We'll see. But yeah, I reckon I could probably do that retrospective review in about an hour-long video. So that is the plan, to start with Prehistoric Park and go from there. It's still going to take a while to actually make that video. Don't expect it to come out anytime soon. That's probably going to be sort of a July, maybe June, July thing. But yes, that's going to be a project I'm going to be working on. Goodbye, Navi. Yes, Prehistoric Park being only six episodes, but they were, you know, longer than Walking with Dinosaurs episodes. There's a lot more in the episodes of Prehistoric Park to actually go over, oddly enough. But it won't be a sort of... the retrospective review won't be looking at each episode in extreme detail. It's going to be a very overview sort of affair. I really don't like some of these paleo brushes. Okay, I think that's a bit better. We've already got the animals for this enclosure, Berenson. This enclosure has had animals picked for it already. It just needed environmental detailing. I did mean to do it as homework, but as you can probably guess, me and the other YouTube moderators have been a bit distracted lately with something that's been going on. So I might not have done as much homework as I wanted to get done this week. I feel this little rock ridge needs a few plants. Yeah, it's a little nicer. I think I'm reasonably happy with this. I think the only other thing I think that it needs is maybe a few these guys. Especially in the water. Sorry, I do mean to keep up with chat. Hello, Monster. I'm doing okay. How are you? Yeah, Berenzen, the Jurassic community has kind of become a bit of a war zone. Like, the stuff going on this week, it makes me think of, like, if all of a sudden Switzerland declared war on somebody. You'd all be like, what? You sure? Definitely Switzerland? Okay, yeah, I think that's a bit better. Just a relatively simple sort of enclosure. Didn't need to be anything excessive. Let's get our animals and put them back in here. Okay, I think that's all of them. Nope. One more. There you go. I'm just going to save. Like I say, I did have a crash earlier, so I'm going to be making regular saves. Nice. Oh yes, it was Mother's Day today, wasn't it? I'll be honest, I totally forgot. Much to probably my mum's chagrin, but I'll give her a ring tomorrow. Yeah, I mean, I was a bit surprised that we had yet another video from Beaver, and now I'm surprised that we've had a video from Swerve. I do wonder how long this is going to go on, like, the pair of them doing this. I mean, I know Beaver has said that he doesn't want to do anything more on it, but that I suppose that sort of depends what Swerve says in his video, and whether he says anything that, like, ticks off Beaver again. Okay, so here's my sort of plan for this particular area. I want to have this back area as the hotel bit, and I want to have a sort of ridge line running, not like a huge mountain range, but some raised terrain running along here, which will separate off this enclosure. And I want this enclosure to be quite deep below ground level. I want there to be quite a big terrain difference. between path level and down here, because this is all, if you have a look, this is all quite flat, really, this whole region. So I want there to be quite a drop in terrain level here, and it might be a drop of terrain that we even maintain coming round here. So I might continue this cliff line sort of along to form a proper ridge line. So that's the plan, and then obviously I'm still tempted to put an enclosure in the middle of this path, but I'm also not. I want to see how this goes first. So let's start with putting the ridge line in. I need to figure out how tall I should. Because if it's too tall, it will look a bit bizarre with the rest of the surroundings. I think that's a good start. Maybe a little bit more. I think it might be too much. Actually, I think that's fine. Yeah, we'll go with that. You just don't care about his channel anymore, Kyrie. I mean, I think that's something I would say about YouTube in general, is that audiences change quite often. There are people that used to watch my channel a lot that no longer do. And there are people I used to watch a lot on YouTube that I no longer do. You know, I used to watch Markiplier all of the time. I don't anymore. I think it's natural that you sort of phase in and out of particular YouTubers. I'm pretty sure some of you guys watching me today will probably not be watching me today this time next year. You know? It's YouTube is like that. People drift in and out. Sometimes they'll come back after a few years, sometimes they won't. It's just one of those things, you know? I don't think it's necessarily even about content. I mean, sometimes it is. I mean, I certainly think when it comes to Swerve, I think it might be content related. I think Rebirth's release will be the interesting bit, because if Rebirth is, again, like Dominion, a really bad movie, and he's just a total fanboy for it, I think that might go down badly, but we'll see. Okay, so I'm okay with this looking unnatural, because what I want to do is an old trick I used to do in the first game. It works best if you can try to get, like, really good straight things. Because what I want to do is make this look like... probably use this. A concreted wall. Now, I could just use the concrete wall sections that I know already exist in the game. But, in the mods anyway. But, I like doing it with path. So I think path, you get a bit more control over the shape, and you still get the natural sort of texturing, bumpy lumpiness of the ground behind it. And I just think that looks better than straight slab-sided concrete. I think it looks more natural, and that's what I want to go with here. I want it to look both natural but also artificial. You know, they've put this concrete lining in to keep this ridge line up, basically. Thank you, Barinson. Hey, Fleshy, do you know the meaning behind my profile name, Walking with Birds? Yes, I mean, I'm all for calling birds dinosaurs, frankly. Is Fletchy a new official name? I mean, I don't mind it. Although I will say, for people who are going to use Fletchy, I mean, that's what people who are romantically involved with me say. So, unless you want to be... If you're happy with accepting the fact that people that are romantically involved with me call me that, fine. But if you... just that's just a warning for you guys. I'm going to use this nice striated rock. It's the sort of thing you would find fossils in as well, by the way. This striated... I think it's supposed to be limestone. Based off the colour. You would definitely find fossils in this. Depending on where you are in the world, of course. Kind of tempted to make this lighter coloured up here. I want it to be... like artificially placed sand. Well, obviously we'll have like plants and stuff up here as well, but I don't want too many. Now then, how do we want to do the hotels? I suppose the first thing we decide on is what type of hotel we want to use. We have the choice between two types of hotel. We have the Jurassic World ones, and we have the Jurassic Park ones. I think the Jurassic Park ones suit our overall theme. I mean, we've used the Jurassic Park building here, and we've got thatch coverings here. Obviously, I do also have the Malta ones. I suppose we could reuse the Malta ones that we used last time. It's a shame there's only one size of Malta hotel. We do also have, you know, this bad boy, which, honestly, I don't dislike it. I think this one would also reasonably work well with the sort of idea we're going for, especially the very tall upper area. I mean, that would work quite well with giving the view over the bay. And obviously we've got stuff like this as well, which are the modded in ones. I think the Safari Lodge counts as hotel as well. And we've also got like the Mayan one. I don't think the Mayan one suits though. I'm actually a little bit... You know, I really did like the Grand Hammond Hotel one. I think I do like the sort of theming going on here. What do people think? Like these are the ones I want to choose between. What do people think for our Crete park? JP Big and Malta in combo. I did, Nicholas. In fact, I have downloaded it already. Sheriff says the Grand Hammond. The Hammond one looks more natural. Yeah, I mean, I think it does, to be honest. This looks big enough to be a hotel. These, I mean, this one, I've always felt this design, which they ripped directly from Jurassic World Evolution 1, this is not a hotel. This is a private villa. This is a condo for like a single family. This is a hotel. This is a hotel. This is not. And this is, again, I think just a bit too small. I think we will do... I think considering we're making a big deal of this particular area, we'll go with the Grand. Now, obviously, if we want to provide good views of the bay, we want it to be on the edge of the cliff. But I also want to make sure that we have space. I want to do like a frontage, and I want there to be associated facilities. So if we put it... like where... that would give us a front. That would give us space for frontage if we had it at that angle. I do kind of like that. See, I think it should be like that. Then we can build a frontage here. We still have a good view over the bay. We got a little bit of backing area, so we can do like a background area bit. And then we still have plenty of room over here for the placing of some stuff, because I want to place down some guest facilities here. And we do have a few different ones. I'm just going to place them all down so we know what we're looking at. We've got like tennis courts to put down. We have a pool to put down. I don't know how this pool works. Do you just like dig out the center? Is that how it works? Must be. And we also have the basketball courts. So what I want to do is put down all of those in this bit here and have like a guest recreation area. How big of a frontage do we need for this? I think like this space here is perfectly acceptable frontage. So I think this works fine. Let's connect it back up. I am going to use the posh path. I think the posh path suits the hotel feel. Connect to there or connect to here? Let's have a look. Where does this one? Okay, that has some pleasing symmetry to it. do have this little step. I don't really get the point of this, because you can step up to here, but then it goes nowhere. Like, I don't know. That's a very... He's got like these stairs here, so you can... I'm not even sure a person would be able to walk through there. I'm curious about something there. Oh, look at that. Hey, we can't walk all the way up. I'm thinking of using a log line trail here. Lighting, invisible trail, invisible path, dirt trail, light lined. There we go. So in the nighttime, those will show up nicely. And what we'll then do is we'll put down like... if you put down like some fencing or something to mark the edge, like a little hedgerow. So I want these to be gardens, basically. I think that's okay. I hope so too, Taylor. And welcome to the channel. I don't recognize your name. I don't think you've been here before, so welcome to the channel and the stream. Hey, Fletchosaurus, what is your opinion on winter being cold but summer being hot? If you're asking whether I prefer winter or summer... Well, okay. It's not necessarily that I prefer one over the other. I prefer being too cold to being too hot. And I actually think that's the most logical thing as well. Because in my opinion, if you're too cold, all you need to do is go and make yourself a cup of tea or a hot chocolate, or put the fire on, or like put a blanket on, or put a jumper on, etc. Like, if you're too cold, there are lots of things you can do to warm yourself up. If you're too hot, there's very limited things you can do. And this was the problem we had here when I think it was a couple of years ago now, where we had 40-degree heat wave. Now, I know for some parts of the world, me saying 40 degrees will make you all laugh. But you have to understand, 40 degrees in Britain is unheard of. Like, it's historically relevant to have gotten that high. I've never seen temperatures in the UK that high, ever, in my life. And it was hateful. And the thing is, okay, excuse me for being graphic for a minute, but once you're naked, and once you've put the fans on, and once you've got a cold drink, there's nothing else you can do to get cooler. Like, once you've done those basic things, you can't do anything else. You can't peel your skin off to get colder. Being overly warm is one of those things that's hateful because you're so limited in what you can actually do to respond to that temperature. So that's why I prefer being too hot to being too cold. That's why I prefer being too cold to being too warm. Also, I apologize for the imagery. You see, Berenson, that's okay, but 99% of people in the United Kingdom do not have pools. You have to remember that in the UK, everything is designed to not waste water and to not waste heat. So, when we get ridiculously hot temperatures, it really does kind of become really, really uncomfortable in the country. Of course, it's quite funny because when Fallout is over here, Fallout lives in Alabama. So when Fallout's over here, he is always too cold. He is always complaining that he's too cold. There will be me and Dane walking around in a shorts and t-shirt, and he will be and Fallout will be shivering because it's like a few degrees beneath ideal surfing weather. It does make me laugh. I'm a little bit frustrated that I didn't build this on a snap angle, but we'll do what we can. Actually, let's bloody do it properly. Okay, so there we go. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do these gardens out here yet. So there's our kind of grand entrance. And on this side, give it a really bushy bush walkway. Which will have wrap around the back of the building like that. And then obviously over here, because this exit will probably then lead into where we're going to have all the like posh stuff for people. So we're going to need to leave that side open. But we do also want to block off some of it. So push up to about there, I'm going to say. And then we'll also do this. So we'll go up to here. Like that. Block it off there. And there's space there for something. Space here for something. What I'm going to do is actually grab a really big bush. Connect it up to there like that. There we go. You can put trees and stuff in there. In fact, will some ginkgos fit in there? Trusty ginkgo brush. Always comes through for me. Does the trusty ginkgo. There we go. I did not get Dane any more tiramisu, Colt. No, sorry. Also, I'm not keeping a good eye on chat today. I do apologize. Born and raised in the US, named Heinrich. Oof. That's a difficult name to have going through life, Rich. Although it reminds me of an interesting story I will tell you all in a sec once I've caught up with chat. You really want the Altis Spinax, Speckle Spinax to be in the game. I suspect that it probably will end up as a DLC, Nicholas. For Jurassic World Evolution 3, anyway. A Wandering Rambler, my favourite dinosaur is Baryonyx. It's one of them, at least. Knowing how they like to put every canon species, I think its inclusion is inevitable. I think its inclusion is inevitable, Kairu, but I wouldn't suspect if they make it DLC. Are you still going to make a video to try to predict what will be the 2 standout features for Jurassic World Evolution 3? I will, Zhao. In fact, I think that's the next video I need to script. Yes, the next video I need to script. The next 2 videos are done. The video for next week is done, and the video for afterwards is done. The video after that will be a tea with Triclaw, which me and the guys will be recording on Wednesday next week. And then after that will probably be the 2 Jurassic World Evolution 3 features. I'm kind of... I suppose I'm trying to delay it just in case they do suddenly announce it. Because, like, I don't want to script the video and then they announce it and it's like, oh, well, damn. Oh, you just saw my comment on Reddit. I've been leaving quite a few comments on Reddit today. Guess I can surprise you and tell you you're in my tribute park I'm posting on Reddit. I know. Frontier is so disappointing. Yeah, being a fan of Frontier games is like being a wildlife photographer. You spend weeks and weeks and weeks waiting for that one moment. And it drives you nuts waiting for that one moment. Okay, what I'm thinking of doing is actually getting rid of this section of path and this one. And then doing a kind of like through path like that. I don't like the fact that I didn't get that perfect. Let's try that again. There we go. And then what I'm thinking is we can turn this into a decorated area, or an amenity, or possibly even the bathrooms, because we don't have any bathrooms yet. And then we need to do something with this area. I mean, I personally feel that this area is calling out for a plaza. I really do. I mean, I'm not necessarily sure I'm going to put any path art here. I must admit, I'm not a big path art person. I do it where I feel that there's a purpose to it. I mean, I suppose given that we are in front of this hotel, the very British thing would be to have like a hedge maze in this area, in that area. We could easily put a small hedge maze in there. I think mammals are overrated. Well, funny you should say that, Walking with Birds, considering the video that came out. I think it was the video that came out this week where I was talking about my views on mammals coming to the game. Or is that next week's? I think that's next week's, actually. I'm going to be discussing what I think about mammals coming to Jurassic World Evolution 3. I'm not going to spoil what I say in that, but yeah, might be worth a watch. What do people think? Like, I want your guys to sort of help me with this park build, obviously. Do you guys think turn this into a plaza with maybe some amenities? Because the nearest amenities are all the way up there. So I suppose having some amenities down here makes sense. Plaza or hedge maze, or literally just path art. What do people think? I'm gonna have a slurp of apple juice. Amoeba are underrated. Hedge maze with a fountain at the center, says Wandering Rambler. No amenities, says Roberth. Oh, I think mammals in real life are overrated. Walking with Birds, that's an interesting perspective to have, since we are all mammals. Also, since we are coming up to the halfway point of the stream, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, etc., etc. Usual YouTuber spiel. Do like the stream. You can put some amenities on the other main path again, but not in front of the hotel. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I would like to kind of try to keep the view of the hotel at least. So maybe a hedge maze out in the front would make sense. I'm Just kind of thinking about how realistic. Like have the entrance here. Let's go. Making hedgerows, I think, hedgerow mazes is actually a really fun way of getting a little bit more imaginative detail into your parks. Because everyone likes a good hedge maze. I think hedge mazes are really fun. You just have to design them right. I think that will kind of do. See, with a maze, you don't necessarily have to have a center point. And I actually think if you don't have a center point, I think it works better. Okay. And then what we'll do is we'll start with tall hedge. Okay. Mm. And like wherever you have like weird gaps that you can't really do much with, what I tend to do is use the statues mod. You can also obviously put trees in there as well. But I think the statues mod kind of comes in very handy for doing a hedge maze like this. See, like here, we've got like this weird gap here, which is kind of crying out for just like a dinosaur statue. So we'll put one there. Hello, Dreadwolf. Yeah, I need to watch through Rob's Gobi part build. Honestly, when I watch some creators, I feel really shit about my own park building. Like, there are some really peak park creators, especially like the folks that have come from like Planet Zoo to this game, and it's like, oh my lord. So many talented creators. I suppose if you want a center, that's kind of the center. It's funny that people are talking about particular types of mammal they like to see, because literally the next two videos for Tricor, the next 2 weeks, are my view on mammals coming to Jurassic World Evolution 3, and mammals that I would like to see in Jurassic World Evolution 3. So, I'm hoping some of you will watch those videos, because it seems like which particular mammals people would like to see come to the game is definitely a topic of some debate. Okay. And then obviously all you need to then do is like put decoration in there. But I think that works. I think we'll definitely put in some... I think we'll go with normal path sort of related stuff here. That kind of matches the rest of it. I do think we need something here. I think what I'm going to do... We can put... There is space for an attraction here. Not an attraction, an amenity. So I am going to put one in here. I'm only going to put one in. Just... because I feel like we do need to have a gift shop for the enclosure that's directly behind us. And I think a gift shop... I think it makes sense that you'd have like a gift shop as well near your hotel. Because people will be, you know, coming out of the hotel. They're going to want a nice memento of their trip. So I just think it makes sense. And then we could put, like, some trees or make these gardens. I mean, we can actually get rid of these side pieces. Make these little side gardens. Let's make this look correct. Panels. Concrete with parapet. I think location in the middle suits. And let's give it thatch 1 to match the sort of overall theme we're going for. Let's make the outside... quite like that, actually. Make it quite plant heavy. And let's make it look... have a good interior. I quite like that interior with through the windows. I think that looks all right. What I'm going to do down here in this bit... so this is just going to be a nice seating area. Because we got this visitor to the viewing tower there. So I think it makes sense that we would have a nice seating area here. And we're going to have it come off of this side. So that's a bit fortification like. Basilosaurus is definitely one mammal I would like to see, Kairu. I mean, it's not necessarily one mammal I would like to see. It's just a mammal. It's a lagoon mammal that I think it's like the most obvious one you would have. It's Basilosaurus. It's the most well-known whale of the Cenozoics. So it's going to be in there because it kind of has to be in there. I don't think I've ever had a... we do have circuses around in the UK, but I don't think I've ever been to one myself. What is with the JPOG rest area building? What do you mean? You mean this one over here? I absolutely love the rest area, the JPOG rest area. I think it's a building that could have been translated to Jurassic World Evolution 2 very easily. And I think it would even serve quite a good purpose in Jurassic World Evolution. Oh, for the small plaza area. I think it might be slightly too large. No, it's not. It would fit. It would fit. I don't know. I want to kind of design this one myself. I want to design it myself rather than use a pre-place. Just so I can make it fit in with the overall theme we're going for. I really do like that hedge maze. Like once I put a few a few trees, a few dinosaur statues and stuff in there. I think that's going to look really good. Not to be cocky or anything. Quotation from Swerve. Okay, so I'm not going to bore you guys with doing this area in the back here because it's going to be a lot of moving things around, messing around with how stuff looks. It's just going to take a long time. It's going to be very boring, and I'm not going to do that for you guys while you're on stream because I just think that's a waste of the time. So what I'm going to do is we're going to look at this in the enclosure here. Now, I've outlined it kind of going up to this point, but I'm not necessarily sure I will do that because I do kind of want some symmetrical nature with what's over here. So we've got this building here. I'm thinking of doing another similar one somewhere over here. So I actually think this enclosure bit will only go up to about here. So we have the space to put in one of these buildings. Something similar nearby. But that's still a very big area. Oops, wrong color. That's still a very big area. Oh, I just got rid of the wrong one. Something about there? Yeah, because that building is on what this line here. So it's kind of like that would be symmetrical to that side. Like if it was like here. So as long as I don't sort of make this enclosure too big and then put down something over here. I'm not thinking of exactly the same building. Because I don't want it to look that symmetrical. I'm thinking of just another big pre-placed building, something distinctive, like I don't know, maybe the Jurassic, the Innovation Center. Maybe if we combine the innovation or the amphitheater, or maybe the actual Jurassic Park command center, like something like that. Just something that kind of matches the same style. Okie dokie. So this enclosure, I want to drop down below ground level quite a bit. That water height. That's water height there. What I'm thinking of having a viewing dome or something similar inside of here. And obviously I might have to redo the concrete retaining wall, but that's fine. At least a little bit. Though actually, that almost looks better than what it was. Yeah. Actually, I've just had a really... I have had a sudden idea. The enclosure design I have done before, but I like doing it, and considering all the stuff we now have, I reckon it would look really good. So we'll go up to there, cut through, there we go. don't want to make this too big, because otherwise it will take up too much space. Okay, so here's the idea. Have a bridge that connects to this pathway and comes over the top, goes over to like an island in the middle, and then you have like a seating area, stuff like that, in the middle of the enclosure. Guests won't be able to use it because they don't use bridges, but imagination. Walking with birds, that's a very curious question. They let water do the fertilization. Let's put it like that. Yeah, it is a very bizarre question. So, what I'm thinking is we have a couple of bridges, or a single bridge. Now, I want to make sure I'm using... So we could make use of Evo's wonderful Japan bridge. That's one possibility. The other possibility is we create our own glass bridge using Rob's glass pieces. Actually, I've decided that's the bridge we're gonna do. we're gonna make a glass walkway bridge. That's what we're gonna do. Now, I suspect it may not be as easy as I want it to be. This is a snap angle here. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't want it to be any longer than 4. No. Oh, God. Okay. That's not gonna work. Okay. See, Jurassic World Evolution has this really annoying trait of... So, this is where... That's the angle of which everything will be correct. So what we have to do is take these. We're going to turn each one over so it's flat. Yeah. Okay, how long is that? For God's sake, I'm gonna have to actually go up to the screen and use my fingers here. I think that's about the right length. I think that's about the right length. And then what we need to do is... I think it's advanced move. Yes. Grab those. And then we need to move by X. Move by Z. Move by X. X. Z. Move by X. Oh, nope. Oh, I'm going to have to do advanced rotate, aren't I? R. Oh, God. No. Rotate by Y. Okay. Advanced move. No, not X. No. As much as I love this tool, it is a tool that takes practice to learn how to use. Now, where do we want the bridge? I'm thinking here. I'm thinking here. So let's put it down ground level. And then let's do advance rotate, and it's Y. And I reckon about that. Okay, and then let's do advanced move, and let's do that. That. Damn it. Where's the railing for the dumb guests? Oh, bugger, I probably should have thought of that. Shit. I'm gonna have to start again. Right. Damn. Okay. I'm not used to building in a modular fashion on this game. Okay. No. I want freefall. No. Roll them over. Build it all on the flat, then transfer it across. That's what I need to do. Build it all on the flat, then move it. Okay. It's not quite. It is. It is. Okay. What should we do for a banister then? Because the problem I have with a lot of the possible banister bits is none of them are kind of long enough. That just looks awful. Unless we kind of sank it half into the ground. It's not too short, because this island is... Okay, just so to make it clear, this island is not the final position or size of the island. It's just there to serve as a rough positioning. Don't worry, Berenson. Do we have any alternatives to this? I suppose the Malta wall pieces are probably the best things to use. I mean, that would... That's a decent-ish bridge, I think. Okay. Advanced move. 1, 2, 12. Right. We now have the bridge selected. We must rotate bridge to begin with. Bridge has been successfully rotated. Now move said bridge. Rough position that we decided on having the bridge was here, wasn't it? So advance rotate. Rotating das bridge. Slide bridge slightly closer to ideal point. I think that is the ideal point for the bridge. Maybe we might need to give it a little smidge more rotation. Yes. We'll obviously need to put some pillars in. However, I have just the thing for that. But there's our bridge. I think, are we happy with the bridge and its position? I think we are. Oh, shit. Motherfuck! Let's try that again. As much as I love this tool that Kyatenic has come up with, it is a little finicky. And I do sometimes get caught out. Okay. Shift it slightly. Advance rotate. Shift it slightly. Is that roughly center to that? Yes, it is. Okay, now we need back. No, back doesn't. How do I fucking... Am I doing something stupid? Do I need to... How do I get out of the... Once it's in position, how do I get out of it? Oh, press F. Right, okay. This is why I don't tend to do like really hardcore modular building tasks, even with Kai's tools. Tools are great, but it really slows you down. Okay, it's roughly in the center, it's on the edge. Okay, so hit F. Why did that just shift the whole thing again? Oh, what? Oh, I never knew that. Interesting. That terrain is going to bother me. One glass bridge. want a roughly circular island because I'm going to put a roughly circular piece of path in here. Thus. Oh, that was a bit of a nightmare for a little bit. But we got there in the end. Now all we have to do is convince people to walk across our lovely glass bridge. I will be honest, when it comes to in real life, I do get a little queasy on glass bridges. They do creep me out. Like, in the back of my head, I know that glass bridges are ridiculously strong. Glass is a ridiculously strong material. If you've, you know, treated it correctly and everything else. You still, even when you're going across them, you still think, you know, it takes one imperfection. Yeah, tell that to Sarah Harding. It takes one imperfection and you're dead. Right. I'm going to surround this with an actual wall. That might be a bit much. Can we have a less wally sort of wall? We want people to be able to look through it. Maybe. I'm thinking about having some of those window sections, like we used over there, around here, so people can actually view what's going on. I need to give this section a path. Okay. Now for the pillars, I was thinking I have these. Thanks to the wonderful mod that Viral Cyclops is working on for me. He's just finished doing the placeable obelisks. Doesn't these look good? These were actually a lot harder to accomplish than you would think. Viral Cyclops has had a bit of a nightmare getting this to be a single placeable piece. But now we can put them down. Like, they're going to make some damn good bridge pillars, I suspect. I suppose the question is, which bridge pillar looks the best? So let's do a couple of different sides. Let's do one set of bridge pillars where it's this guy. So one. Oh, how? So it's big, small, big, big. It's on the edge of the small. So big, small, big, big, small. So it would be here. And then let's do the same here. So let's do this one. And so, which design of bridge pillar do people think looks the best? The flaming obelisks or the flags? I'm curious, can dinosaurs walk under the bridge? Or do you still have my version installed? I gave you the version with a hitbox. I mean, we can do a quick test. I don't think they can. Oh, am I going to have to do this with the... Rob, is the version that's on Nexus Mods, is that different? What is this? Amargasaurus. Let's just get rid of this Amargasaurus. They can't actually... This has a hitbox under it. Nexus version is without. So if... So... The Nexus version, you would still have to put, like, invisible fencing all around the glass, right? Which is fine, because I do that anyway. That might be worth checking, Rob, actually. I'm just going to quickly have a look on Nexus. Because obviously if neither version has allows for this sort of bridge idea to work, then okay, so the thing that he's put up here, it says they don't have interaction hitboxes, so things can go through them. He does plan to do a version of them that does count as hitbox. So, Rob, you must have given me the version where they still count as hitboxes. I wonder if I can have both installed at the same time. Okay, so what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to rebuild the bridge with the new version, or the Nexus version, before the next stream. However, which type of... Let's decide on what the bridge will look like, at least. Which design of pillar? So I'm also thinking of putting in some, like, other smaller pillars, so it does kind of look more bridgy, I suppose is the term. Like, I'll probably double stack the pillars in the middle. Is bridgy a... bridgy. Not a very good descriptive term. Yeah, so which... I think if you just change the version, you don't have to rebuild anything. It will just be replaced. That's a good point, Rob. My only concern with that is this game doesn't like changes like that. And given the enormity of this and how long it took to make, I kind of want to see if the game will accept me having both installed, so that I can at least know for a fact this is not going to fuck up. Berenson likes both. Well, I can't use both pillars. The bridge has to have one design of pillars, so we need to pick. I think the flaming obelisks. I don't think that. I think they're too short. Maybe? I don't know. The flags are a bit vulgar, aren't they? Because imagine if you have it like on this side and this side. I'm gonna say this in the nicest way possible, okay? But there was a particular group of people with red, white, and black on their flags, and they did really like their flag-lined avenues. And I'm concerned that if you put them on both sides, it's ever so slightly that. people if you imagine them on both sides, it's slightly that. And I don't want to be accused of burning obelisks. I'm not sure burning obelisks is any better, to be fair, but I think the burning obelisks might be better, and actually they would probably work better for my idea of bridge, because what I can do is I can just do this. And so we have the height then that I wanted to have. Like, I might not have it that tall. I might have it... Let's go up to this height, maybe? Yeah, kind of that height, I think, would work. Because then if I have, like, the... these smaller ones as, like, bridgy bits at either end... So, like, there's like the bridgy bit. It would actually kind of need to be a little higher than that, or this would need to be a little bit lower. This would probably need to be about that height, so we still get the use of the lighting. What if we have them the other way round? What if we have them that way? Then the flag is going to be inside of the wall. So you would have to have, like, the bridge bit there. The obelisk. So the obelisk, we would have to have... It's kind of the same problem. The flames would be actually in the wall. I do kind of prefer them side on. Mostly because these, if you look at these concrete pillars, these are backward angled. They're not straight. So I think it actually makes more sense to have them sideways on. Yes, walking with birds. That's exactly what I was referring to. I'm hoping that Viral is going to be able to sort out these very large hitbox things that some of these pieces have as well. I did mention it to him when he did these first pillars for me. Apparently these hitboxes, the pillars don't count already. He's already done that for me, but I just think it would be nice to get rid of that enormous balloon thing. Like, let's just build it with these and just have a look and see what it looks like. So that's how I think it should be. You know, I don't mind that, actually. I think it makes sense because if you imagine you're walking along this path, I think it makes sense to have something hanging. And when you're walking along here, you don't necessarily need to see what's hanging because you've already seen it because you walked to the bridge. Can he change it to green? That was something I did ask Viral Cyclops to do, to see if he could change the colors of the flags. Or changed what the textures were on the flags and give us some different versions. But no, I think making these separate pieces is proving difficult enough. But you know, it can't be that tricky to change this. It must just be like just a bog standard texture file. And if so, we can just change the colors. But I assume you can only have the one. I assume if you wanted to have multiple different if you could have multiple different versions of this and then have multiple different flags on it is what asking don't cost money. Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I asked Viral if he was willing to do it. I mean, I would be happy to bung him some extra money to make like a couple of copies of this and just change the flag, even if it's as much of just changing the color of the flag from red to green. Like have the red one, have a green one, have a blue one. I think would be enough for people. Maybe an orange one as well. Let's see what it looks like all with obelisks, and then we can decide. So let's do All obelisks. So obviously we know what it looks like with obelisks facing front. Let's see what it looks like with obelisks facing sideways on. So this is the sideways obelisks. I think if they were taller, let's take them up to like there. Yeah. Let's match the heights. So that's it with the forward facing of it. My only concern here is the one underneath would technically be constantly heating that glass. As good as it looks, I don't think it's realistic, because it would be constantly heating the glass. So I actually think I think if we use the flames, the flames have to be pointing outwards. I'm really torn because I like both. We can decide on the dinosaurs and whatnot in the next stream, but definitely going to have to sort out this bit of path here. It definitely needs to be corrected, but yeah. Well, given that I may have to rebuild this bridge with the corrected version of the mod, I'm going to leave it as is. But then the idea will be to have... So, where are... Leave it to a poll, maybe. That's a good idea, actually. I'll put a poll up on the channel. So I think if we then have a couple of glass windows... So, have one... We've got one there. I'm thinking one here and here. And then maybe just have like a hedgerow wall around it. If we have a wooden wall around it instead. See, it's once you have all these like mod pieces, it's actually really tricky to decide on like what you think looks best. Like, I think the wood looks better than the hedges for this. What about this? See, I think that makes sense, but I think it doesn't look like protective enough. Oh, you meant in chat. Well, I think I'll do a community post in just because obviously that way everyone who's not necessarily watching the stream can get involved. I actually think these fences work the best for this idea. But this is if we pick this particular piece of glass to go with. I mean, we could go with the where is it? This. We could go with these glass sections instead, which are bigger, but you know, less sort of brutalist. But sometimes I do think the brutalist ones work. The flames are nice and give an adventure feeling to crossing the bridge. That's true, and obviously we can then have like the other flaming obelisks at either end, if we so choose. Yeah, what I'll do after I come off stream is I'm probably going to I'm gonna see if I can have both mods first. Like, I'm sure if I just change the name of the folder slightly, it'll accept both. And because I have installed a mod after the other one, if you have a look here, like, I have my mod that's being worked on. Your mod with the glass is like all the way up here. So I'm hoping it should show up like further down. So I'll know the difference between the two anyway. I really do love these, by the way. I think these are fantastic. Like I mentioned in that decorations that I would like to see video, what I would like to see, and these are the sorts of things I think we really do need to have more of. They're definitely a great addition. Well, we'll decide on what dinosaurs will go in this inclusion next week. What I'll do is, because this has been quite building heavy, next week I will stream Jurassic World Evolution 2 on Friday and Sunday, so that we can like build this enclosure up and maybe try and get some of our aviary enclosure bit started. And what I'll do over the next few days is I'll do some homework on this park. I'll get like this area down here done. I'll get this area around here done. I'll get the amenities over here put in and stuff. And that way, when we come back next Friday, it'll look really good. I think though this looks really good. I really like the hedge maze. I think that was a really good idea to put that in here just before this. I think it just really suits. Makes for some nice greenery. No worries, Rob. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Next week, Wednesday, there'll be a video because the video's already up and ready to go. Me and Fallout will be... I don't think Dane has next Wednesday off. So I don't think it'll be Baldur's Gate. I think Fallout will be playing Fallout. And then, yeah, like I say, on Friday and on Sunday, I shall do this. Depending on what happens, I might make the Friday stream longer. We'll see. We'll see how I feel. But yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in. I hope everyone has liked and subscribed if you're new to the channel. And yeah, I will see you guys next week. So wherever you are, stay safe, enjoy the rest of your nights, and goodbye.